Hello, everyone. My goal for for this year is to do more videos, and this is the start of it. I want to talk about some things that have been going on lately related to the book and related to other subjects which I think apply. Something simple to consider here is, really, why would you want to apply any sort of new system, process, framework to your organization? And for example, this week I met with a prospect and we were talking about their business and what they were doing. So they're a service based business and they've been very successful over the years, which is wonderful. Turns out, he takes a vacation or he goes to Florida, does what he wants to do for the most part for a couple weeks at a time. And I asked him when I met with him this week, what's it like though if you were to take off for say a month or longer? And he thought about it and he's like, well, I really haven't done that, but I'm sure it would probably be okay. And then I asked him the next question, which is, okay, if you were to be out of work for a period of time, maybe multiple weeks, multiple months, where you couldn't answer questions, you couldn't send emails, you couldn't make phone calls or respond back. And he thought about that even harder, and his outcome was, well, if it was for any extended length of time, my business would probably shut down because it couldn't operate without me. And that's the big reason for writing the book. As I've talked about in previous conversations, what was the start of this was really around the fact that when I had my situation happen to me, I couldn't do the job the way I wanted to. I was fortunate that my mind still worked and that I was still able to send phone calls, answer emails, and work with clients. But I was also in a situation where I couldn't travel as much as I had in the past. Now you take that situation, you multiply it times tenfold. You have a heart attack, you get in an accident, you end up in a situation where you can't do your job as you normally would. What would your business do without you? And for a vast majority of small to medium-sized companies, it would be a bigger impact than I think most owners realize. It would lead to business not running the way it should, maybe certain jobs or tasks not being done the way they should. For example, a lot of people, when they're business owners, handle the financial side of the business more. So then it becomes a situation where there's key elements of work that aren't being done the way they're supposed to. And over time, that creates bigger problems, creates financial issues, and could potentially lead to the company failing. Now take the other side of it. Let's say you have a key employee, somebody who's been with you for maybe 20 or 30 years, knows the ins and outs of your company in every way possible. And what if they were to disappear? Either quit, leave, go to a new job, potentially retire, because we're seeing a lot of business owners, as they're aging, their employees are aging too, and they're all starting to think about retiring and leaving. And how are you going to replace that individual, especially if there's so much knowledge that's captured in their head that they really don't have a clear documentation of what needs to be done and all the gray area, the nuance, if you will, in what the job is. This is really why having systems in place and having a process and having a culture that supports a good framework is so critical. Hence, that's the reason I wrote the book, Escape the Owner's Trap. Hopefully you've had a chance to read it. If you haven't, you can get it on Amazon. I'm happy to say again, it is a bestseller book, so we've definitely generated some interest with it, and I hope you're able to check it out and respond. So feel free, reach out to me if you have any questions. If you are in one of those situations where you're wondering how are the bills going to get paid should something happen to me, or what if a key employee were to leave or something were to happen where they were not able to do their job and you can't answer those questions, then I think it's good for us to have a conversation. So please reach out. Look forward to talking to you soon, and thanks again.